Welcome back to this non-episode of the Electronics Inside. I'm David and you're in my kitchen because I need to fix whatever is wrong with this, my dishwasher. And I have a sneaky suspicion that it's a mechanical seal that's gone, but the reason I know that is because of an electrical system which you would probably never guess was in it. So I thought I'd bring you guys with me and we can all have a look inside and see what else is about. It's not going to be a fun process, but I'll bring you along with the important bits at any rate. And it looks like I've got a helpful assistant this evening as well. Millie. Nice fitted dishwasher, which is great until you realise it's really hard to get out. So first up, let's get kickboards out. Take out the shelves. I should say my dishwasher doesn't normally smell or look like this, but at the moment it's not actually completing a cycle, so it's not draining all the dirty water, it's not it's doing the initial fill, getting the water hot, starting the wash, but then it just keeps repeatedly beeping and won't actually complete, which means when it does drain it's just getting rid of the most water it can of the dirty water, which means what is sat in the bottom of here stinks, which is why I'm very keen to get it fixed. And there are two screws, one here and one here, which go up into the bottom of the worktop, which I need to get out to pull the dishwasher forward. What we can do is jack these feet down a little bit, just to make my life a bit easier pulling it forward. Yeah. That right there, that's the issue. Something in here isn't draining properly. Okay, the trouble is the sump where the water drains to has a pump in it, which I guess is a sump pump. That's supposed to have water in it, but then there's an extra layer of skin beneath that's not supposed to have water in it, and that's where this water is currently dripping from. Yes, that's probably because I just tipped it slightly getting it out of the out from under the worktop, but I really shouldn't be dripping that much. Just disconnecting the water off the back so I can dip it, not worrying about wrenching a cold water pipe off. Is it bad? You tell me if this was bad, right? Well, it's not looking good. Okay, just draining all that surplus water that seems to want to come out before I lie this on its side. Whew. Yeah. Right, so let's get 4 screws out the bottom. That bit right there. What we have here is a float switch. There's a little blob of polystyrene and a micro switch which when this drip pan, this bunded sump, fills up with any sort of liquid, you see that float rises and makes the switch. And that tells me that something in here, a seal in here, has gone and is filling this tray up with water when no water should ever be in here, which is bad. I hope that's clear for me from context. Now all I have to do is identify what has gone. So this is what the underside of my dishwasher looks like with the sump off. This side is looking out to the front, that's the rear of the machine. So up in the top corner here you've got a solenoid valve which controls the incoming water. You can see that fills through this reservoir, which is also where the salt is. I don't know if everybody does that internationally. You have to put salt in your dishwasher when there's a hard water area. And you can see this little agitator pump up here. You know, little solenoid valve that will bypass water through there to get a solution of that salt back up into the dishwasher. Oh yeah, I have to say, these are not cable nuts, these are crimps. So these are actually crimped onto the incoming wiring. You see the earthing going all over the place. Wiring is not pretty for an area which could potentially get filled with water. Let me just try and pan down a touch. So just here, so this pump is the main circulation pump. So this is the sump where it actually filters out and drains out all of the dirty food that goes through your dishwasher. If you didn't know, you are supposed to clean that out periodically and remove debris from it. Eventually it will decompose and go down the drain, but you are supposed to clean that out. So this pump recirculates it. It'll actually pump from that sump back up and push it through the swing arms, both top and bottom, and there'll be a pipe that goes that way and a pipe that goes up the back into the swing arm. And that's actually why all of the top drawers have this little sort of bit that sticks out, because that's actually pressing the upper shelf against that seal at the back of the dishwasher. A little bit lower still. And this is the ejection pump. This is what actually takes the water from that sump and pumps it out to drain. And it will do that twice in a cycle. So there's normally fill, heat, wash, drain, fill, heat, rinse, drain, dry. And the drying is typically a heating one that doesn't involve water, just to assist with drying. Then right at the bottom here, I think there is an extra little pump for circulating rinse aid. At a certain point in the cycle, when you've filled up that sump with clean water for rinsing, you then introduce some rinse aid. But I'm looking at that as a potential issue because, to be honest, I can only spot one hose on there. I'm pretty sure there should be two. Sadly, there have been no really obvious points of failure. I was kind of hoping to see like a seal or a gasket with obvious drip marks, residue from repeated cycles and dripping. There wasn't anything all that obvious. Or if there was, it means basically the entire machine's junk, which is possible. We didn't spend a lot of money on this machine 8 years ago, and it's been working ever since, within reason. So I'm going to leave the sump off, but start a cycle. And after about 15 minutes or so, I'm hoping I'll be able to see a drip, and that will tell me where it's going from. The only thing I must do is remember not to stick my fingers in it, because of course all that wiring is exposed in basically a puddle of water, and I don't want to get electrocuted this evening. Wish me luck. Okay, so the first thing we should hear is the sump draining, because it will always try and empty and make sure it's clean before it starts. So that's that sump pump running to drain. And I'll do that for a little less than a minute. So that noise is the machine now filling with water, and there's a bit of air in the line, obviously. That solenoid at the back is opened and it's now filling the sump. Now, this is my first opportunity to see any drips and leaks, so I'm going to get under there. Yeah, I mean, that's not even a little bit of water, that's a lot. Now, that noise is the main washing pump running, and wow, that's loud when it's not under a worktop. But I'm gonna stop the cycle because I have an idea where the leak is and it's gonna run out of water soon. Wow. Now the trick here is to start another cycle to get it to run the sump pump again, because otherwise that's full of water. Now, hopefully, because whatever's leaked will still be wet, it will have left fresh water and I can see clearly where it's coming from. Even if it's fresh water coming straight off the mains, which won't have left sort of those crusty marks, which I was hoping was going to be my telltale. Flip back over and have a look. Okay, can you see this big white bit? This is the sump I keep talking about. This is, if you look on the inside of the dishwasher, where the filters will be that you're supposed to remove all the stuff from. And that gives a place for the water to drain into on the bottom. And the bottom of the dishwasher is actually this stainless steel plate up here. And those two mate together with this great big gasket. Really fine black line. You can just see some there, some there. But that runs all the way around the sump. And it's leaking from just under the drain pump under there from that main seal. So I guess that main seal is the issue. I wonder if it's just badly seated or whether it's torn. I'll stand it up, take the filter out the inside, and we'll have a look from that side. Okay, I would like it on the record, my dishwasher doesn't normally look this scummy inside. It's only because we haven't been able to get it to complete a full wash that it looks quite so bad. And apologies for the lighting here, it's makeshift. So this bit that we can see in here is the drain that we're supposed to clean out regularly. And it's not too bad, but could be better. Oh. That's supposed to be like a locking ring holding that bottom assembly on. And it wasn't. Okay, that could be a much easier fix than I thought it'd be. With that locking ring now put back in place, sorry I couldn't film it, I needed all the hands at once. This is much better now, but you get a much clearer view of that sort of helical track around the outside which goes to the recirc and the spray arms. You've got the sump at the bottom which goes to the drain, but interestingly you've also got this little black nipple here which is an NTC thermistor. So that's how the dishwasher regulates its own temperature. Okay, so I've still got the sump off. Sorry, still got the bund off, or the second sump with the float switch in it. But we've now got the sump hopefully reattached to the inside steel sheet. So I'm going to run it again without that bund on, and we'll see if that still is dripping. Hopefully not. So that's the sump finished, and this is now the filling routine. We'll see if it gets all the way to running the circulating pump without dripping. Yay! Okay, that actually appears to have got it working, so we'll run the sump again, turn it over, get the bund back on, and should be good to go. Now, just in case anybody was wondering, there is a loom of wiring which comes under the bottom side of the door up to about here, and this is where all the controls mount, just behind the sort of buttons on the top edge of the door. And that's not going to be much more than a microcontroller, some relays. That's probably about it. I mean, you've got a half dozen LEDs, the float switches, pump controls. That's really it. It's not very exciting in terms of electronics. What might be a fun project in the future is tearing the existing stock electronics out and replacing it with some custom electronics. I mean, could we integrate a washing machine, a dishwasher with Home Assistant? Could we get MQTT running on it? And I'm pretty sure we could run this off a Raspberry Pi. Absolutely overkill, but maybe a fun project. Well, thanks for joining me, and I hope your white goods stay working. Bye.